future, talk radio will actually educate, inspire, and make you think. The future is now. Topics and music that affect your life. From Universal Broadcasting Network. Tune in at ubnradio.com.
You've been hurt.
Love this song. Thank you, Kurt. Oh my God, I love Drake. Love Drake. Thank you so much. I'm actually going to his concert later on in September. Anyway, everybody, welcome to another edition of What's Up with Kobylt and Friends. Thanks for being here. Kurt, thanks for playing that. You know how much I love Drake, so thank you. No. I got tickets already to go to the concert in September.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. See if I can get a few more for friends of mine. Did you have a good Memorial Day weekend?
I did. I worked all weekend, but other than that, I got time and a half working Memorial Day, so that's good for me.
Good for you. Yeah, we were just really busy with a lot of family stuff. A lot's going on in my world right now. I got a kid who's graduating from school, so that's just been keeping us really, really busy.
Are you getting ready for college, like moving out and everything, all that fun stuff?
Yep.
All right.
Bummer.
Yeah.
Because we're all kind of close friends, so that's kind of a bummer. But it's been fun. We had a fun weekend up at the lake, so that was really great. And, like we usually do at the top of the show, we like to talk for a little bit about current events and what's going on. And in my neck of the woods, just couple of hours ago, I'm wearing a UCLA T-shirt because there was a shooting over there. Horrible. And it's really sad. I mean, sadly, it happened. Fortunately, it's over. It appears that it was a murder-suicide. The really details have not yet come out about what happened. So I'm so sorry for those people. I really am. But the whole area was on lockdown. You know, I only live about a mile from there. So I was concerned that I couldn't get here, but I'm just sad that had to happen.
It's just horrible that it keeps happening over and over again. And to see it like this, it's...
I know. But, when it's a murder-suicide, I was talking to my husband about this, that's an emotional thing. So it's not like somebody went to the school to take people out. That's more of an emotional thing, I think. Again, details will come out later about it. But in support to the people at UCLA, I did wear my UCLA T-shirt, so my heart goes out to you people over there. But on the phone right now, I've got John Kobylt from the John and Ken Show. John, thank you for being here. Hey, thank you for being my current event guy. I mean, whenever a current event happens, I'm like, I'll go to my go-to guy. You and I should just start doing a show together, don't you think?
Well, we do it all day at home.
That's very true. That's very, very true. Okay, so we were talking earlier today. You know that we tend to talk about the elections all the time in the House. Yesterday, do we have a clip of this, Kurt?
With the Donald Trump?
With Donald Trump. Yes, apparently, he went off ballistic crazy on the media. Can we play that real quick?
Of course.
Okay.
The press should be ashamed of themselves. And on behalf of the vets, the press should be ashamed of themselves. They are calling me and they are furious because I sent people checks of a lot of money, and we're going to give you the names right now, which is what you want. And instead of being like, thank you very much, Mr. Trump, or Trump did a good job, everyone say, who got it, who got it, who got it? And you make me look very bad. I have never received such bad publicity for doing such a good job.
What do you think about that? I mean, people love to slaughter him. I think he could do anything. He could be opening up orphanages and people will just rag on this guy. I mean, whether you like him or not, whether you want to vote for him or not, don't you think? So what was that all about?
Well, the news media, and I'm talking about the mainstream media, New York Times, Washington Post, the major networks, the cable channels, the mainstream media that most people get their news from, they want to set a storyline. They want to script out what's going to happen, right? So they came up with this idea, hey, we never followed up on whether Trump sent the millions of dollars to the veterans. So they write a story and they start calling veterans groups, hey, did you get money from Trump? You get money from Trump? And the whole implication, the whole undertone is Trump lied, Trump exaggerated, Trump ran off with the money, Trump never raised the money, on and on and on. And he got
I have to say that was sloppy reporting. Again, whether you like Trump or not, that's not the issue. But it was kind of sloppy reporting, I thought, because he did raise about $5.6 million, didn't he?
Yeah, he $5.6 million, and he says more is coming. You see, in England, all the newspapers clearly have agendas. They're clearly slanted. They're aligned with political parties, and everybody knows what you're getting. Here in this country, we pretend that the media is objective, and all these organizations try to sell themselves as objective.
They're not. You're
They're
not.
not.
Fox isn't.
And
CNN
Trump
isn't. Come on. Go
Trump's
ahead.
the first candidate calling him on it. It's like, stop pretending. You're coming out to get me. You're protecting Hillary. I'm just going to call you on it every time it happens.
Yeah. I thought it was interesting that he called out one reporter, I think an ABC reporter, and then another reporter said, is this what it's going to be like if you become president, that every time we cover you and we ask a question that you don't like, you're going to come back after us? And what did he say? He said, yep. I thought that was kind of,
He goes, yeah, that's what's going to happen. I'm not going to change. You want me to change? I'm not going to change. This is it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, again, like it or not, I find that refreshing. So now Tuesday is the primary in California, and that could put Hillary over the edge.
Yes.
And probably will, right?
Somewhat all over the place, but on average, she's winning.
Yeah. So why is Bernie still hanging in there? I know that you had Bernie on your show last week. My God, you were really tough on him. But anyway, that's for another time. But why is he hanging in there if it's pretty likely that this is going to go to Hillary?
Because he thinks Hillary might get indicted. Seriously.
No, I know that, but should she get indicted, it would automatically go to him? Because I don't think so. Because I'm reading that they've got Biden. Yeah,
the party has a plan B. The party will push Joe Biden and Elizabeth Warren as the ticket. That's already been set.
So then why doesn't he just get out? I mean, the guy actually, one thing that came across in your interview, maybe I'll play that next week. He does have an ego, and I happen to like Bernie Sanders. I respect him. I admire him, but his ego came across in that interview of yours. So maybe a little bit of a tease for what we'll play next week about him. We'll see if he's even in the race by next week. We'll see what happens.
I don't. He's talking like he's going to go right to the convention because the superdelegates can change their minds at any moment.
Right. And
so it's not locked in stone.
Right.
He could get the superdelegates and overtake her. And the superdelegates might change their mind because of a really bad headline one day.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So it's all still in play, and that's why there's so much commotion going on.
Mm-hmm. All right. Anything else you want to add about all this? Because I know you're always very opinionated on what's going on.
No, I'm just, you know what? I'm glad to see the media get roughed up. The reporters always say, hey, we're asking the tough questions. Well, now you're going to get the tough answers.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have to mix it up. If you're going to have an agenda and you're going to pursue somebody and make claims, and now some people are going to punch back. This is what a politician should have been doing decades ago.
That's
Bernie the first to do it.
Well, Bernie did that to you last week. He punched you back. I mean, he really did. It was one of the rare times that I heard or saw Bernie Sanders really get pissed off, and he got really mad at you. So it is refreshing to see. These guys do need to be roughed up a little bit, and Hillary too. But she rarely puts herself out there that she can be roughed up. I mean, she's very, very measured, I have to say.
Yeah. I would like to see the hour-long press conference where the reporters grill her on all her scandals, but she doesn't expose herself to that. Trump, at least, comes out and takes on the fight.
Well, the debate will be coming soon enough between those two, so we'll see what happens. All right, thanks a lot for being here. I know you have to run off and do your own show, so thanks for coming, calling in, and we'll talk to you later.
All right, see you later.
Okay, thanks, John.
Bye.
John Kobylt of the John and Ken Show is my political analyst. Why not? Why not? I mean, we're all over the place at our dinner table, talking politics. We've got one who's a Sanders guy, one who doesn't care at all. I'm always in the middle. I sort of straddle the line. John tends to be a little more conservative. So quite an interesting dinner conversation at my house, I have to say.
It's crazy, this election.
Yeah,
Everyone.
But I have to say, I mean, they will jump on this guy for anything. I mean, regardless of what he's doing. And I think, he said something that was interesting. He said, I'm checking out to see where the money's going first. And that's true. I mean, instead of just blindly handing it over, just see which organizations within the veterans qualify to get the money. So, I don't know, made sense. We'll keep up on it. But next, we have a really interesting person on. We have actually two really interesting people coming here in studio. Carolyn Lawrence. And you are so cute. You are adorable. But it's your voice that everyone is in love with. You are Sandy Cheeks of SpongeBob, right?
Howdy.
Oh my gosh, that is so amazing. How do you do that? I have so many questions for you.
Okay.
You are so incredible because I've been reading up about you the past couple of days. And when I told my kids that you were on the show, they were really excited, particularly one of them, my oldest one, who I remember just watching SpongeBob incessantly. So he wanted me to say hello to you. So
Hello.
in your voice, would you mind saying hello to Justin?
Howdy, Justin.
You're amazing. Can we run a clip of her? Of course. And what is this from? This is from SpongeBob, the TV show. Is that what we're going to
Correct,
see?
yeah.
Okay. SpongeBob from Nickelodeon.
It's here! Yeehaw! My newest science book has arrived. I wonder what new and fantastic area of science will be revealed to me this month. Oh, hey! It's them fancy bloomers I ordered, too! This day just keeps getting better! Behavioral psychology is the study of people and their habits. I've studied underwater chemistry, geology, and astronomy, but I've never studied underwater people! Sandy Cheeks, day 1 of behavioral study of subjects in Bikini Bottom. Initiating observations. Now,
My wife says she wouldn't even try it, no matter how much I salt the lagoons.
My daughter, Amanda, is exactly the same. It's always an argument. I mean, I've tried to...
older, lumpy-looking female subject, obviously a mother, hates daughter.
Excuse me.
Okay, Ms. Sandy Cheeks. That is incredible. I have a lot of
you.
questions because I think I was telling you earlier, I've always wanted to be a voiceover actor, and I've gone out there. I actually have done a few commercials.
Yes,
but
and you have a beautiful voice.
thank you.
You're
thank
welcome.
you. But how did you get into this business? It's tough. It's tough for women particularly.
Yes.
What'd you do, and how did you get that role some time ago?
I'm ridiculously lucky. When I was living in Chicago,
And
when I-
ridiculously good,
Well,
but go ahead.
Thank you. But I was a dancer at the time, and I was with a company called Gus Giordano. And there was a gentleman who used to come take our company class. And whoever you are out there, I'm always looking for you, Steve, because I want to say thank you. And I don't know your last name. But he brought me to Universal Recording for an audition. He saw me at the studio, thought I had a cool sound, brought me in, and I started doing voiceover from there.
Oh my gosh,
So
it's
it
like
just-
a typical Hollywood story. It's not like you were going door to door, banging on the doors. He heard your voice,
Right.
brought you somewhere, you killed the audition, and here you are. And what was your first gig?
I did a line of stuffed animals called Snoozies.
Oh.
They were things that kids could squeeze at night, and they would say comforting things for kids who are afraid of the dark.
So what was your voice for a snoozy?
God, I don't-
Do you
my God,
even
I was so-
remember?
no, I don't remember. It was a
Probably
long
like
time ago.
high pitched, right? To
Yeah,
put a little
yeah,
kid to sleep. It's
yeah.
like, good night, or
Right,
something like
yeah,
that,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay, so then from there, what do you do for voiceovers? And you have to be an actor. You're
Yes.
not just doing a silly voice and, mimicking your aunt.
Right. Well,
you
that's
know?
what people don't understand.
Exactly.
Is a lot of people can do great voices, but you have to maintain a character. Possibly, we're going on 17 years
Yeah.
for a very long time.
That's acting. I mean, and in so many ways, I would think in a way it's almost even more difficult because you've got to sort of match what's going on with the character that they've drawn and created, right?
Right, because you're making it all up through sound, how far away something is, how high you're jumping, those kinds of things. You don't have a set to work with. So, yeah, it's interesting. It's more imaginary.
So when you go to work and you do this, do you get a chance to view it first, or do you just read the script and they tell you what's going on and they match your voice?
Every show is different, but SpongeBob is particularly fun because we get what's called a storyboard. The artists draw out each panel for us so we can see, we get it the night before, and I can go through it and see what's happening. So when I get to the recording studio, I have a better idea. And when I worked on Jimmy Neutron, we only got a script. We didn't have the storyboard. That was a little more difficult.
So you were kind of going in the dark a little bit, weren't you?
Yeah.
And what was your character on Jimmy Neutron?
Cindy Vortex. She was the smartest one in school. Jimmy wouldn't think so, but she knew she was.
Oh my God, that's unbelievable. Do a little more. I have to hear, because I know that voice. You have to, with 3 kids, I've had all these shows on in my house playing incessantly in the background as I'm trying to get something done. So,
Everybody thought she was really bratty, but she wasn't. Underneath it all, she's a very nice girl. She just has big dreams.
oh, that's unbelievable. Oh, you are incredible. Oh my gosh. You've also done acting where you've appeared.
Oh, yeah.
Not as Carolyn, but as, what else have you done?
When I first moved to LA, I did a lot of back in the day when they had 4 camera sitcoms. I did a lot. Caroline in the City and
You're from Ohio.
from Ohio.
And you wanted to be an actress, so you moved out here. Is that what
I
happened?
wanted to be a dancer.
Okay.
And I was a dancer.
Mm-hmm.
I really didn't. I wanted to be creative, and I still do. It doesn't matter what format.
So that pushed you out of Ohio. Is that what you're saying?
Ohio was an amazing place to grow up.
It's a great place, right? But if
Yes.
you really wanted to be creative,
Right.
I guess New York or LA would be your town, right?
Yeah, yeah. And LA's more my style. I love New York. I like to visit.
New York's
but it's a
fun.
little too hectic. Yeah, it's very fun, but I need a little.
I mean, I lived there for a little while,
Yeah.
and I don't know if I could live there anymore because it is really it's constant energy.
I used to go there in the summers and model shoes.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you did?
I happen to wear a size 6, which is the size that samples are made.
Mm-hmm.
So
you would
that was my
model
gig.
shoes. So you made money modeling shoes. Were you a kid when you did this? Were you an
No.
adult? So somebody took a look at your feet and said, "Oh my gosh! Not only do you have a great voice, but your feet are rocking." So is this what happened?
No, I
So-
found out a lot of the dancers did it to make money because we had nice
But
legs.
dancers have like kind of weird feet half the
Yeah,
time.
but we had
It's
shoes on.
Bunions.
No-
and-
nobody saw our actual feet.
Okay,
They
so
just looked at the shoes. At shoe shows, they would have these hotels, and you would go in, and each line of shoes would have its own hotel room, and they would spread all the shoes out, and the buyers would come in, and our job was to wear them and make them look nice for the buyers.
wow, and you just squeeze into. Well,
You just
have
shove
a-
you just shove your feet in there.
Yeah, I know, but most people don't have a size 6 though. But I guess it's to make the shoe look pleasant and
yes.
dainty and nice.
Right, and if
so-
they were horribly uncomfortable, you just had to pretend, and yeah.
They were lovely. Yeah.
Yes,
So okay,
yes.
so you were in New York and you did some shoe modeling.
Yeah.
And then you went from New York in the shoe modeling career of yours to LA,
Back to Chicago.
to Chicago now.
Yeah, met a gentleman.
Met a guy in Chicago. Isn't that always the way these guys, they just manage to take you out of what you're doing and bring you someplace that you had no idea that you'd go. Okay,
Yeah,
so
so
what
he
happened?
moved to LA. And then,
so you took the
and
guy
then
from
asked me to
Chicago
come-
to LA.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good thing. Okay.
Yeah, and it all worked out.
Yeah.
Because here I am.
And then you got discovered.
I did.
Sort of. And then you started first with the voiceovers, or were you already doing the acting?
I was doing all of it at the same time.
Yeah, you kind of have to, right? I
Yeah,
mean, you can't
yeah.
just do one thing.
And voiceover is incredibly, especially animation, it's really hard to break into because it is a career where you have to maintain characters for so long, and it is more challenging maybe than people realize, that a lot of directors don't want to give somebody new a shot. They need to see you over a period of years
And
and,
they need
know
to
you
know
can
that-
actually handle it.
Because it's acting.
Because it's acting before you get a job. So for the first 3 years, I auditioned probably every day before I started booking animation.
Did you take any acting lessons, any voice acting lessons?
No,
You
I
just did it.
Well, what happened was I started working, and I was really lucky and fortunate. And then as I went along, I started to get nervous because I kept meeting other actors who made a big deal about the fact that they were educated and I wasn't.
You mean with acting
Yes,
classes?
yes, and I got
the
insecure.
Lee Strasbergs and all
Right.
that type of a thing.
So
you
I
know.
signed up for an acting class, and I went, and the teacher was like, "You're already working. You're fine.
You don't need to be here."
Obviously, what you're doing is good." So
So that really sort of
Yeah, I
put
needed-
you at ease a little
yeah.
bit. You just need a little bit of reassurance. I know how that goes.
Yeah.
So, all right. So then, fast forward how many years now that you've been doing this?
20.
Yeah, but that's
Probably,
okay.
yeah.
You started at 12, so it's really okay.
You're very kind.
Right? Or
Yeah,
13
yeah, that was
maybe.
it. Uh-huh.
Yeah. So, how do you, though, do it? You know what I mean? Like, if I'm going to put up a picture, I mean, do you just feel something? Is that-
I know everybody works differently. There's voiceover people that work on sounds. They sit at home and they play with sounds and they come up with. I don't work that way. I like to read a script, and the sound and the voice comes out of the character. Just like if I was doing a play, it would be the same thing.
So what are you working on now? You've got a movie coming out. Did I read it was 2019 or
Yeah.
2017?
2019.
They've got SpongeBob
We're
that
in-
far out in advance.
We're in
I mean,
pre-production forever.
that's like a long time.
It is
I
a
mean,
long
they
time.
could do like 2 Indiana Jones in that
Yeah.
amount of time.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, so we're working on that.
okay. All right. And then what else have you been doing? And okay, you have 2 kids.
I do have 2 kids. Yes, and my second one's only 5 months old, so that's what I'm working on.
And you're raising these 2 kids by yourself,
Correct,
right? Are you
yeah.
completely on your own? Did family move out with you, or they just decided to just send you off on your own?
When I got pregnant with my first, my mom did move out here.
Yeah.
And that was fantastic and challenging and a lot of different things.
Yeah, I
and
got
so
it.
yeah, so she's not here now.
Yeah, I got it. She shipped her back to Ohio. That's okay. She could talk to the kids on the phone. I got you.
We can FaceTime.
Yeah, but you must be
But
really...
actually, LA was too much for her all the way around.
Yeah,
It was just,
I get that. But you must really be able to multitask because you had these 2 girls. You have daughters,
Yes,
right? Through
yes.
in vitro.
Correct.
So what was the process there? Because you're a single mom. You were obviously, I guess, single when you decided to do that.
Single mom by choice, yes.
Which is really important that people know that they have choices. That if
Right.
you don't have a significant other, it's really important that they know you can have a child.
Yes.
In many different ways. So.
And I'm very grateful. I have to say, I'm very grateful to the last boyfriend I had for being so terrible. Because what happened was...
Assholes of the world, it always
Yes.
works out once, yeah.
Yes, he gave me a great gift. By breaking my heart, he had 2 boys. By breaking my heart and making it so that I was not going to be a stepmom, which had been my plan, it set me on this path to have kids on my own.
See?
So
for all the people out there in really lousy, crappy relationships, get out because it does finally work out once you get
Yes.
to the other side, right?
Yes, and it's
you just
so
have to
much
get to the
better
other
this way.
side. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Because
so-
can you imagine if I would have had one with him and then, blah, blah, no.
Well, if he's a jerk,
Yeah,
no.
right, no,
It just
bad.
wouldn't have worked out.
No.
No.
So
Plus
this
he's
is
got
a
those
beautiful
other-
thing. Yeah.
So you decided to do this, but how did you embark on that? I mean, that's a large undertaking to decide to go in, talk to the doctors. You want to have children by in vitro. Did anybody
Yeah.
try and talk you out of it?
No one tried to talk me out of it.
Good.
People didn't really understand it. That was 5 years ago. Most people in
How
my
could nobody
circles
understand it?
had never even thought about it.
Really?
Yeah. But I asked a lot of questions and I asked a lot of friends and I found a great doctor. And my girlfriends and I would go on our lunch hour. Jenny and Teal, you know who you are. We'd go on our lunch hour and we'd look at all the books of donors.
Oh my God! So you get to pick the stud you want. That's so freaking unbelievable.
And we'd
You
make
pick
lists.
your stud. Oh, what did
Yeah.
your stud look like? So unfair. Sorry, Kurt. I'm sorry, but this is getting me all excited.
And we
Okay,
do
go
pros
ahead.
and cons and we narrowed it down to 5 guys and then I...
Shit. So you get to pick 6'2", strapping build, Harvard educated, athlete,
Right.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Any color eye.
Right. Except here's the funny part. The lady who owns the fertility clinic said, "You're the strangest one. You've chosen... I didn't choose on any of that.
What did you pick? Like some little short thing? It was fat and...
I think people who are happy, like truly happy, I feel like it's in their DNA.
Right. So underneath the little information, it would say happy.
I kind of went by what they wrote and tried to find someone who I thought was truly happy. And then I asked the receptionist, who meets all of them at the front desk,
What are they like? Are they
who
like
was the kindest.
Good for you.
And that is who I went with.
See, it's not all about looks, ladies.
It is not.
It's really not all about. But did you at least pick a really nice, sensitive type who's super hot looking? Did you at least do that? Okay,
It worked out that way.
Yeah. So you're. I don't think we have a picture. Do we have a picture of your daughters? We do.
Yeah, we do. There's my
Oh my gosh,
oldest
where are
one. Yeah, my
Oh
oldest
my
one
gosh.
is part Tongan. So her donor was Tongan.
Oh, I love that.
And my new one,
your
my
new one.
my new little
your new
one.
your new little toy. Yeah.
My new little beautiful girl.
She's gorgeous.
Was a different process because she was actually a donated embryo.
Oh.
So it's kind of like adoption.
Yes, it is.
except that
Adoption
I get to
really
carry
early
her.
on.
Yes, and so she's Indian. My little one.
I love that you're saying that the embryo was donated because very often people don't know what to do with their embryos. And I
Right.
don't even know if people know they can donate them.
Yes, and this was that situation. There was a family who had them left over after their own IVF, and they
Oh,
didn't want to
wow.
destroy them, and so they gave her to me.
Very interesting. Okay, so you're a voiceover actress, very successful, mother of 2, raising these kids on your own. And in your spare time, you like to refurbish homes. Is that true? You like to
do.
refurbish houses.
Yeah, I had a therapist who said years ago, how about instead of trying to work on people, you work on the disaster homes? It's a better place for your energy.
So
here I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite things.
You don't flip them. You just, what do you do with them?
Well, I do. I renovate them over a period of time till I think that they're what they should have been, and then I sell them. But flipping to me implies a quick turnaround and just to make a buck, and I'm not doing that. I want to renovate a home properly and
There they
then
are.
sell it.
Is this a before? Please
That's
tell me.
That's an after.
Oh, it's an after. Oh, I can't see very
That's
well.
the before over there on the left.
No, wait a minute. Yeah, the before is on the left.
No, now it's on the right. Okay, so this
No, the after is on the right. The blue, right?
the blue is the before. It's hard to see in
Oh,
the
good
picture.
heavens. I can't see at all.
Okay, so this house was one of the first houses ever built in the Toluca Lake area of LA.
Oh, and such a beautiful area.
And
so
I
many
didn't want it
stately
to be
homes.
demoed.
Okay.
It was up for auction. It was a probate auction. And I was sure if an investor bought it that they would tear it down.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to the auction. That was my first attempt at that whole thing. And I'm terrible at math. And when you're in front of the judge, it's at a court. The price goes up incrementally and 5%, and so
were you bidding against other people?
Yes, and the judge said to me, "Ma'am, are you going to take this at this bid?" And I was like, "Oh dear God, I have to do the math on my phone. Give me a second."
minute. Wait. Yeah, I know I can't think that
I
fast.
Can't think
oh my
too much
gosh.
pressure.
Oh my gosh. But you
yes,
got
it worked out. Yes.
So how many homes have you done? So you fixed them up, and how many do you have, or how many have you sold?
I have 4. That's a before of a kitchen. Where's our after? And that's the living room before. There's the living room after.
I hope that's an after, because that's gorgeous.
There's the
Look
kitchen
at that
after.
kitchen. Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
So you must have
Thank
people
you.
you like to work with.
I do. I've met great people over the years.
I know. I have done 2 homes,
Oh, wow.
knocked them down to the ground and built them up. I had the greatest experience. These people became my really close friends, and everybody's like, "Oh, you can't do that. You're crazy." I said, "It's such a fun project. I don't quite understand how it goes how it's so difficult for so many people. Maybe they can't make decisions. Is what I'm thinking.
I think
don't know.
decision making is a big part of it, and I also think it's the creativity, because there's always going to be a problem. You can't go through construction without a problem, but you have to be a creative thinker to
I
get
was
around
always
it.
ahead of it.
Yeah.
I always picked my
Well,
tile
you're a
before they
planner.
needed the tile.
Right.
Hardly anymore. But, I would have my stuff picked ahead of time
Sure.
so that they couldn't say, well, it's going to take. I'm like, no. It's already there for you.
Then you and I need to work together.
No. Yeah. And I had a very fun experience. I know some good people if you ever need any.
Thank you.
So anyway, up next is your movie. And you're
Yes.
still doing the TV show
Correct.
for SpongeBob. And
Yes.
anything else that we can talk about real quickly before we go to our next guest?
No, I'm working on a new house right now that I'm very excited about.
Oh.
So I just picked one up and I just started.
You just picked it up.
Yeah.
So was this an auction also, or you
No,
just...
it was a neighbor who started construction and then realized they couldn't finish.
So you're one of those. You go snooping around for the best deal.
I am Mrs. Kravitz.
You are Mrs. Kravitz. I loved Mrs. Kravitz. Okay, she was terrific. Everybody needs a Mrs. Kravitz for a neighbor. You know,
Sure.
if, oh my
In a
God.
good way.
In a great way.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you go snoop. Okay, well, you've
that's
got a
me.
lot going on and 2
I do.
beautiful, beautiful daughters.
Yes,
Thank you so much for being
Thank
here.
you for
You're a
having
love.
me. It was really fun.
Thank you. So anyway, our next guest. Do we have any applause for our beautiful guest? There we go. I seem to need that applause. Our next guest, and you're welcome to chime in
thank you.
as well with our next guest. He's sort of doing an entertainment segment with me this week, and he just booked something really, really incredible. He's my friend and an incredibly, incredibly talented actor, Cyrus Daboo. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Oh my God, you're so handsome.
It's so good to see you again. You look gorgeous. I told you that
too.
already.
Thank you, but you could tell me that all day. You know me.
And I have a thing for blondes anyway, so it's really good to be here
You
with
do.
both of them.
Well,
I
because
do.
your hair is so dark.
Is
Like
that what it
it's like
is?
I'm your negative, you know?
We like our opposites, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So thank you for being here. But can we play a quick clip? I don't even know if it's quick, but let's just play the clip of Cyrus's show that just got picked up. Is that
Yes,
correct?
it did.
You
I did.
shot a pilot.
I
It's
did.
called Speechless.
Yep.
And actually, let's set it up really quickly. You are a school
I
administrator.
play administrator at a facility where one of the kids has services.
Okay.
And it's a fantastic show. You guys are going to love it, I can tell already, because it's a mother played by Minnie Driver. I won't tell you too much.
But she's incredible. I mean, this
she
is a
an
show with
incredible-
chops.
Yeah.
It's a show
I
with
mean,
chops.
She's
yeah.
incredible as it is. And she plays this kind of overzealous, determined, well-meaning mom who's trying to just do the best. And she gets herself in some funny situations.
Well, really quickly though, it's a show where her child, right, has special needs.
Yes, she has 3 kids.
She has 3 kids, and this one, I guess, has special needs. And
Yes.
she's always marching into the school.
Yeah.
But she's incredible.
She
and
is.
the writer on this show is
Scott Silvery, and he's from
amazing.
Friends.
Okay.
And he created Joey and Go On. So he has such a knack of taking even like the littlest situations and turning them into just funny. It was kind of reminded me when you were talking about your mom. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just like I was thinking, I thought, oh my gosh, this is another show right there. So you guys are going to get such a kick out of it. He's so talented, and it's directed by Christine Gurnon, and she came from New Girl and The Real O'Neills. It's just
Well, when I read about that, I thought
Yeah.
this is a real winner right out of the gate. So
Yeah.
let's go take a
take a look
at
at
the
it.
clip,
Yep,
and then
let's
we'll
take a
talk
look
more
at
in a
it and
minute.
we'll talk.
Oh, I'm excited.
Absolutely.
Got that?
In 3 minutes, this 50% off breakfast coupon becomes a 0% off breakfast coupon. So buckle up.
There's no way we can make it there in 3 minutes.
Not her. Life's too short.
Excuse me, there's no handicap placard on your car.
I'm sorry, love, you were saying?
Oh, why don't you shut your mouth?
He's all there upstairs and he's got a thing about staring. That's the finger.
We're moving.
To here?
it.
Cyrus, are you coming on in a sec?
Sucks. It sucks. This won't be the sixth school in 2 years.
Because I found the perfect situation.
I like the way they
for your
shot it
brother.
too,
It is
I have to say.
full-time aide, someone who's going to be by your side, a voice. Is my new voice guy cool?
Well, it's a she.
There you
and...
are, so handsome. Typical administrative look, though.
I was thinking I'd call you J Tizzy.
Oh, yeah, don't do that. Let's go to school, shall we? Where's the wheelchair ramp? A garbage ramp?
Not just a garbage ramp.
No, it's a garbage in my son ramp.
It's acceptable alternate access.
Empty bag of manure. Trash or person? Go. It's trash. Are you trash? Are you a person?
You're a person, Doctor.
You can really get an idea, though, looking at her as the mom,
Yeah.
that she's in there fighting
Can
for
you
her
tell?
kid. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I love you in the sweater vest. I mean, I've been in the school business now for so long with 3 boys, you know, and you really dress the part. I love how versatile you are as an actor, though. I
Thank
mean,
you.
what have you been here? I mean, I know pretty much your history, but you can sort of play anything. You're very versatile.
I've done them all from doctors, lawyers, prince's assistants to call center, Indian call center employees.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It's like, hello, can I help you? Wait, did I do that right, Miss Voiceover
That was
Lady?
very good, very good.
Oh,
You're doing
see,
a very
that's
good
better
job.
than me,
Yeah.
you know.
Not competing with it.
No, please.
This was just,
I can
my
do
family.
voices, but not on command, you know? Like, I
Yeah.
couldn't do it like that. I said, oh my gosh, perfect Indian call center guy.
That's about the only one I can do.
No, but you can do, but you can do so much. You can do, I can
thank
see
you.
you're right, the lawyer, the doctor,
Thank
the
you.
husband.
I generally tend more towards the professional types, which is probably how I ended up, with this gig. So, keep your fingers crossed that they write more for my character.
Well-
but I think the show's going to do
Well, they
really, really
have
well.
to.
I just really, really believe in it. And I got to tell you guys, it's something, when I first heard that it was about a child with special needs in a family, I asked the writer, Scott, I said, how did you write this? Like, where did you come up with the inspiration? He said that he had a relative with it. And he said, we were always laughing. We were always on the floor laughing about the crazy situations we got ourselves in. And it's really it's a family dealing with situations in their life with humor.
Well, we were talking on the phone, and this
wonderful.
is so important. I really feel like Hollywood has stepped up its game.
Yeah.
You've got a show now about special needs. For a while now, we've had shows that have shown gay couples and finally gay couples who are more intimate, which I actually think is very important because,
Sure.
While we are more accustomed to that sort of a thing in New York and Los Angeles and in the larger cities here, a lot of that is still a little bit taboo to talk about and to sort of showcase. But I think it's great that we've got shows now talking about somebody with special needs or somebody with their sexual orientation or
Absolutely.
whatever else.
Yeah,
you know?
and even like with the immigrants shows like Blackish and Dr. Ken. I mean, ABC is doing such a great job. It's just their
really
roster
are.
of shows of kind of poking fun at funny things, are just they've really done a great job. I mean, like the Real O'Neills, they have a gay son on the show, and he's just part of the family.
Right.
That's all it is.
That's
And,
just it. It's
so,
not,
yeah.
like if you look at Modern Family and the gay
Yeah.
neighbors next door, that was a little, that was very, very comical the way they're shown. But, to just show a character just as somebody's son. And
Yeah.
the sexual orientation doesn't even matter
It's
anymore.
not the most interesting thing about them. It's just
right.
an aspect of their personality. So, and I think that's what's going to happen with this show, is it kind of just brings it into the mainstream, and it makes it not such a big deal. And I have to read this quote. I'm sorry to read it off this paper, but when I'm quoting somebody, I just, you know what I mean? I think it's so
go
important.
ahead, please.
And this is, so the boy who plays JJ, who's in the chair.
Right.
His name is Micah Fowler. Just incredibly
terrific.
Oh my gosh. I'm
Terrific.
so glad you felt that way.
Yes, I did.
He's one of the most intelligent, heartwarming, generous, just people I've ever met. I can't even tell you how it was amazing to deal with him. And he said, I hope when people watch Speechless, they get to know JJ as a very normal person, to the point that they don't even see the disability.
Right. That's a beautiful
And
thing.
I just thought that is the perfect way, because we all want to be seen for who we are, kind of inside. Of course, we'd like to be noticed on our outsides too, but you want people to get you, you're who you are. So that's kind of my hope of what happens. So.
But it's also exposing a side to an administration. Sometimes the administration doesn't listen.
Yep.
And you've got so
There's
many.
scenes of that too in
right.
there. And she fights for, I'm sure you probably have been through those kind of experiences raising 3 kids. I can't even imagine.
You do sometimes when you feel like there's an injustice. You really do feel like you need to march in there.
You have
and
to fight
say,
for 'em, right?
Hey, wait a minute.
Sure.
And then there are times that parents need to shut their mouth because
Yeah.
sometimes that's they're in there too much. So you really have to play it. She looks like she marches in there a lot, right?
To the point that the police officers are actually scared of her.
Really?
One goes to like Clocker, and the other guy goes, no, life's too short. You don't want to deal with her.
The key is in a situation like that, you got to become really, really good friends with the school administrator. So you could just walk in and you sit down, and they like you enough, or they'll listen to
There you go.
They'll
Yeah.
pander. So even if they don't agree with you, they'll listen. So
Are you talking from personal experience?
a little bit.
I
yeah.
can tell.
I need to work on
that.
A little bit. You don't want to. The worst thing I have to tell you are like these parents who get in there and they're a real pain in the ass when it comes to the sports, and they're telling coaches what to do.
Right.
That is something I wouldn't even entertain.
Yeah, I agree.
I think, so there's a lot in this show for everybody. So right now, the pilot was picked up, and it was just one pilot that you shot.
that we shot
That was
one
quick.
pilot.
When did you do that?
And just a couple months ago. And it's just, I think I found out through Facebook that it got picked up and the trailer was on, and then I made it to the trailer. I mean, I didn't get cut. I was like, oh my gosh.
Stop. You found
Yeah.
out on Facebook. Did you fall over? Who did you call? Why didn't you should have called me first.
Yeah, I know. It's so funny.
Did you like it?
Oh yeah, did you like it? It's like, I like it.
I
I'm
get
in it.
terrified to watch myself. But a friend of mine was like, have you heard about the pilot? Have you heard? And I go, I'll find out when I find out. Like, you can't make a big deal. And then she's like, I just Googled it, or I just was on Facebook and I saw it, and the trailer posted. So it happened like right
Nice
when we were
of somebody to call you.
I know. Why you have your best friend from college who lives in Oregon. She's
There you go.
That's great.
She's
Yeah,
in
she
Oregon.
did.
She's probably doesn't have that much to do at the moment, and she just
Well,
keeps Googling
she's-
Cyrus, her best friend, who's in LA making it big.
Well, she's got a lot to do, but she's like my biggest fan. One of my biggest fans.
I'm just being
so
silly.
She puts you on
she's
Google
funny.
alerts,
You know,
right?
maybe.
Yes,
I'm
she
not even
probably
that
has-
tech. Yeah, savvy.
I know, right? That's
Yeah.
what you have to do. Put
Yeah.
yourself
Yeah,
on Google
yeah.
Alerts.
There you
Actually,
go.
Cyrus, we got to
that's
do
a
that.
good idea.
Yeah.
We should do it for both of us.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so right now, what are they doing? They're writing.
So
for-
right now, I believe I've been stalking them a little bit.
You have to. I'm going to start doing it now too. I'm going to start liking everything they do.
Thank you. That they're writing it, and they'll go, believe, into production in late July and August. So
So
we
how
should
many
find out.
they order episodes? Isn't that correct?
Yeah,
Did the
I
network
don't
order
know,
a certain
but I mean,
number?
I think when they greenlight it, they do it for the season. So it's going to be Wednesday nights, and I think they gave it a time of 8:30 on ABC
Okay,
already.
that is
So-
massively major, right?
Yeah.
It's not like they threw you on it, some obscure time.
Yeah,
On
They
a
really.
day that-
When you guys
Whoa.
watch it, you're going to see how truly talented the writing is, and the characters. They're just. I mean, the other kids are amazing too. The gentleman who plays the husband he's so funny. He's a perfect balance to her energy.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a really well done cast.
How can something like this, I know you haven't experienced it yet, but
Yeah.
let's go there. How could something like this, as big, just to get a role, a significant role, on a show like this, ABC at 8:30 on a Wednesday, how could this change an actor's life?
Well, I almost don't
Is
want to
this
go
when-
there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know you
that's-
don't. You
that's
really
kinda-
don't.
yeah,
but come on, when I
it's-
found out, I thought, oh my gosh, is he
Sure.
still going to answer my texts?
Yes,
you
I
know?
Well, pretty soon maybe I'll sell him a new house.
There you go. You'll sell him a new house. I don't know. What are we going to do?
I mean, whenever you're an actor, and you're always thinking about your next gig, and actually, even when I was on set, it gets to the point you're enjoying filming, and then right after lunch, you think,
what am I doing tomorrow?
It was gonna be my last day, and I'm gonna miss everybody. So you never know what you're gonna do tomorrow. You really don't, and that's something you kind of have to make peace with. So, but my dream is to get a running gig on a sitcom and kind of having like a family rapport with the other actors, characters, where you get to know each other. So that's what I'm shooting for. So it'd be great to get on a show like this, especially something with so much heart, heart and humor. I eat that
And
up.
it is a comedy, right? I mean, you've got
It's a comedy, and it's kind of like when I was coming over here, I was thinking about My Big Fat Greek Wedding, how she was like laughing and sometimes in tears at the same time. You know,
it's like my life every day.
Is it?
At
You're gonna love it.
At any given hour, I'm crying, and if you call me in 20 minutes, I'll be laughing. So, is this just how most people go through life? I don't know.
So. I think moms.
I think so.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. Yeah.
But last time you were here, we were also talking about just television, and this would apply to you as well, and how it's really changing because there's so many other outlets now between the Netflix and the Amazons and Hulu. There's just so much, and so much being written. So there's a lot more work now for actors such as yourself and character actors such as yourself. Wouldn't you say? I mean, don't you feel a little more positive in a way?
For a while, it seemed like it was going to be only reality. I don't know if you experienced that.
Yeah.
And there was so much fear, and now it's kind of gone just different. And like I was saying with ABC, so many of their shows have like more of a diverse ethnic cast and different kinds of characters, and it just kind of really blossomed in a way that I didn't see coming. And Netflix and all these other online resources have just really changed the whole face of everything. Like that's what we were talking about.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and I like when it's organic like that. You say that you have different types of people that are being showcased in roles
organically,
just because that's what's part of our culture and we're recognizing now, and it just is part of the mainstream, and we need to talk about it, write about it, and showcase it.
Sure.
So that's where we are now. You're pretty amazing. Do you go on a little mini vacation beforehand? Like, what are you doing? Like,
I'm going to be coming on your show a lot.
But I guess so. Should this be? Looks like it's been picked up. So
it's been picked up, and so I just hopefully the phone, the phone rings, and we'll keep doing other things, doing commercials and going out for other gigs, and just meeting so many great people in this town. And working, and I know that person I worked with. You might work with someone's husband or wife. So. Yeah, just
my cousin. She's about 24 years old. She moved out here a couple of years ago, and she just scored a national commercial. So that was
good
really
for her.
good.
Yeah.
And she's doing great. So all the people around me are just doing so well, and I'm so happy for them because this is just great. I love to see this. So what have you been doing on your time off?
On my time off, just looking at we actually finished our renovation. I've done it. Yeah,
fun.
I was doing. Boy, I wish I could say they got easier and easier. They got harder and harder. I don't know why, but so I did that, and I did a lot of the work myself. So it took like 2 years.
Hammer and nail kind of thing.
Yeah,
yourself,
and a lot of finishing work and painting and everything. And I learned a lot off of YouTube. I'll tell you.
Are you kidding? You're like,
did you do that?
You're Mr. Tools. You can actually do that.
I can repair stuff.
Can I tell you, my husband, who was on earlier,
dandy.
talking about politics, he can talk his way out of anything. I have been on him. This is the truth. If you're listening, John, 4 months, and he will not change a light bulb in the kitchen. It's the damn truth. So you're a guy who can build something, and
Babe,
wow.
Call me over. I'll be there.
Next time you come over, I have so many bulbs out in my house. It's actually true.
That's like the easiest.
I was like, yeah, I could come do that for you.
If I told you we had an argument about it earlier, it's like, can you change the light bulb? Like, we have relatives coming in, and the kitchen is looking black.
You got to get those LED ones because those last for.
Those.
Oh, really?
I have them. They're just not put in. They have to be put in. So. This has been a really kind of a fun show. I really enjoyed just talking to the two of you. I just like to see the journey of actors and how one can be discovered so quickly and how one can just sort of keep at it and stay with it and stay positive.
And you never know how it's going to unfold. So it's like I'm happy to hear like different stories. You never know what life has in store for you.
It's a lot of anxiety though, and I think I would have that, or maybe I would have if I were younger doing this because. You just don't know.
You learn coping skills, I guess.
You just have to keep working hard,
right?
right? You just keep moving forward.
Sure. I mean,
yeah,
I think so.
That's wonderful.
And you have good friends.
Yeah.
Sure.
So, you feel like talking about some current events in politics, you guys, or no? To sort of end out the show and
sure, bring it on.
Circle back. Circle back.
What do you got? What do you got?
I love talking about this election. It makes me kind of crazy.
All right.
And I think the three of them have something very, very unique to offer. I mean, the fact that Bernie is still in there, he's not going to get the number of delegates. So John's right. He's just kind of hanging in there, hoping that, Hillary gets indicted and she's gone. But they're not going to pick him anyway. He just needs to go. And I happen to like the guy, actually. I admire him, but he's not going to make it. So the fact that he's sticking in there is interesting. So between these two...
He seems very tenacious.
Let me tell
I mean,
you.
I'll tell you, he's got a lot of energy. Sometimes, like when I hear about, even actually all three of them, when you hear about how their campaigns, like I think I was reading like the day in the life of Hillary Clinton, or it doesn't matter who it is, but what they go through each day and stops and shaking hands and pictures and all that.
That
it's
woman
just
has been
crazy.
at it though since college, right? She has been destined for this. She is really.
It's probably in her.
She's been campaigning since she was, in school.
And Bernie
honestly.
Sanders is a little bit older, right? I think he's 674, if I read correctly.
Around there, but you know what surprised me? I did
Yeah.
not realize that Bernie Sanders didn't actually hold down a job until he was around 40, and it was a government
Interesting.
job. I was surprised. I didn't realize that he had a first wife. I didn't realize that he had a child that a lot of people didn't know about. Like, there's a lot about Bernie's background. Like, a lot of people look at him, including myself, and go, "Oh, Bernie's and kind of a neat guy." But he's got an interesting path. Past rather. He's a bit of a curmudgeon in a way, and
he wasn't a Democrat. Is that correct? That he was an independent, I think, and he.
Absolutely,
Okay.
and then he.
That's
wanted
kind of
to,
interesting then to almost.
Yeah, but a lot of
becoming
these
the
guys do
Democratic
that. I mean, Trump
nominee.
almost would have moved over if they didn't want him.
I think I read that he was kind of either way, right?
Yeah. So because a lot of these people straddle the line, you know. I mean,
got to be a joke in there somewhere.
Do you have any predictions? That's going to be the next sitcom.
Maybe, right?
President. Somebody has to do like a real life version of what goes on in the White House. Not just all this proper stuff like Mr. President, but
like, you mean Scandal's not real?
Loves it. Oh my God.
It is, isn't it?
I just watch for the scenes, if you know what I mean.
I know.
I love those.
The hot
sex
president.
scenes. The really friggin' hot president. I mean, I have to tell you, okay, I saw him in the airport not long ago. Come on, I live in LA. I live among these people. When I saw him walk off the plane, I just turned around and I started following him. And my kids, who I embarrass all the time, and this is true, said, "Oh my God, there she goes again." And I was kind of just walking behind him in the airport. He is so handsome, right? Tony Goldwyn. And he works here on the lot. And I'm just praying every day that I kind of bump into him. And it never happens.
Do you remember him from Ghost?
Oh my gosh, I do.
I mean, he's another person who's been in the business a long time.
Yeah, I mean, he's pedigree. We all know that,
yeah.
But he's worked really hard too.
Yeah,
I mean,
he has.
pedigree or not, he's paid his dues.
I admire
as well.
that too. People
I
who
do too.
I
That's
really
not
do.
so easy.
It's
I
not.
have to tell
it's
you.
not. It might not be their second nature. I don't know, but yeah, that takes a lot.
There's a lot that you're fighting when you come from something like
Absolutely. Everybody has their own obstacles to overcome, in life, and so. I guess it is what it is.
Okay, so we're almost out of time. You know what we could do? Since he's on the lot, maybe we can sneak around and go see if we could find the people over at Scandal.
Should we do
you want to try and do that? That'd be really fun.
I think we should.
Anyway, this is such a fun show. Thank you so much, Carolyn Lawrence.
Thank you.
The voice of Sandy Cheeks, SpongeBob the TV shows, SpongeBob the movie, among so many other things. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Cyrus Daboo, Speechless on ABC, getting picked up.
Thank you. Wednesday nights,
You're gonna,
8:30.
You're going to be huge. I mean, and you'll answer my text,
You're
right?
so cute.
And you'll still come over and hang out on the couch.
Absolutely.
And do like we do.
We need to get together and share our remodeling notes.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That'd be
We should
fun.
all go in on something together.
I'm telling you, that would be a sitcom right there.
I have to tell
or
you,
a horror story.
I get on. I get on so well with construction workers. I just
You do?
Me too.
That's good.
Oh my God! Right? I think they like
and
the
production
girls.
team,
They do.
like crew.
Yeah, they like the girls. See, if you're nice to them, if you're a real
You guys
jerk,
are both attractive and personable. Who wouldn't like you?
I just like the guys. I
Come on.
like being around
Yeah.
them. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, they work hard and so anyway, fun show. All right, you guys. Thank you
Okay,
so
thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
And everybody, thanks for tuning in to another really fun edition of What's Up with Kobylt and Friends. See you later.